Good afternoon. It is July 25th, 2023, and I am excited to welcome you to another WiLS Taco Tuesday. We've got a little bit of a shorter session today, but we have two of our vendor partners here to talk to us about resources that they have to offer. You'll see here on the screen our agenda today. We've got several folks joining us from FactCite, and we'll have someone joining us from PowerNotes in a little while. So I like to keep my introductions nice and short. So I'm going to turn things over to Susan Gall, who is here representing FactCite. And Susan, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can take the reins.
Great, Jeff. Thanks so much. I'm Susan Gall from FactCite. I'm one of the co-founders of FactCite. We launched FactCite in around 2009. And our subscriber base in Wisconsin has been growing steadily. So I look forward to working with any of you who are interested in learning more about FactCite. Let's get started. I'm going to do my screen share. One moment to get it going. And here's my welcome screen. It's time for another Taco Tuesday. I'm happy to be with all of you in Wisconsin. As I said, I'm Susan Gall. I'm vice president, and I'm also the co-founder of FactCite. Let's get started dipping in. FactCite is a collection of databases. You can see here, each one of these icons represents an individual database. They go from the lowest reading level to the most advanced, and we offer subscriptions to individual databases as well as to bundles, so you can choose what works best to support learning in your school. The FactCite databases include FactCite Lingo, which is English and Spanish in an engaging interface. FactCite 123, which has, this slide is actually outdated because we've just added a module on holidays. It has 13 modules in science, social studies, and English language arts, and it forms the foundation of our K-8 bundle. FactCite has 4 biography databases. Many of you may have owned the print volumes that preceded FactCite. Biography for Beginners was a very popular elementary school print product, ceased publication in 2013 and became part of the FactCite family shortly after that. These next 3 databases are all from Lincoln Library print titles. US and World Biography has 10,000 biographies of notable people from around the world. Shapers of Society has just 101 narrative biographies, but they represent people from different fields of endeavor, mostly from Western civilization, but from ancient times. We start with Moses and we go through to contemporary figures like Steve Jobs. And then Sports Champions is based on the wildly popular through the from 1973 until around 2013 in print, Lincoln Library of Sports Champions, which features hundreds of biographies of notable people in sports. Mythology is our most heavily used database. If you have mythology in your school curriculum, this is a terrific database to include in your resources. It has Greek, Roman, and world mythologies, and it links to FactCite 123 if you subscribe to the K-8 bundle, or if you have FactCite 123, you can step up to the World Mythology database for a more advanced reading challenge. I'll show you that in just a second. We have 3 history databases. American History is a general encyclopedia. Defining Moments in American History is a partnership that we have with Omni Graphics. They had a 36-volume series covering defining moments, notable events in American history, from the writing of the Constitution, the Lewis and Clark expedition, Roe v. Wade, Civil War, Underground Railroad, Woodstock, through to the events of September 11th. Each one of those modules includes essays, topical essays that cover the aspects of the event, and also biographies of the people that were connected to it and primary source documents. Our newest database, Milestone Documents Online, we partnered with the Schlager Group. This is a high school resource or community college resource, or even university resource. 1,700 primary source documents with scholarly commentary. It covers ancient times to the present, American history, and world history. It's a really rich database, and there are resources to support teaching, test yourself quizzes, map activities, etc. We have these additional databases: Science and Technology, which covers periodic table, the solar system, animals, earth science, etc., for fourth graders through high school. Countries and Cultures covers the countries of the world. It also has comprehensive coverage of ancient civilizations and of the Chinese dynasties. And then Essential Information is a general reference. This was a print product, Lincoln Library of Essential Information, and it's, again, a little bit more advanced reading level. It's great for advanced middle school students, junior high, and high school. Now I'm going to switch my sharing here and just take a look at FactCite for a minute so I can show you some of the things that I've been talking about. You see here, we're taking a look at Taco Tuesday. When you subscribe to FactCite, we can put a greeting for your students at the top if you like. And I'd like to show you the Step Up to a Reading Challenge feature. If we go to FactCite 123, I'll choose the Animals module. This is one of the most popular modules. And let's take a look at frogs. So FactCite allows students, come on, it's going a little bit slowly. It allows students to look at the articles on a page-by-page basis. You can see this is an 11-page article. This feature applies to every FactCite database. Or you can go up here in the upper right-hand corner and select one page, which then converts the article to one page for scrolling. Makes it a little bit easier for students to find the subheadings. Then when you get to the end of the article, this is the feature I mentioned before. If your student is ready to read more about frogs, they can click here, and you can see from the breadcrumbs here, it takes them to our science database, an article on the same subject at a higher reading level. The audio read-along is available for them. The audio read-along also features, I'm going to show you this feature, a translation. So if your students, if you have a student who's speaking Ukrainian, it's a Google Translate. This disclaimer box comes at the top, but then the translation appears in the language, and you can also engage the audio read-along. Click the arrow here, and it will read in the language that you've selected. That's a quick overview of how the Step Up to a Reading Challenge works. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint and review the other FactCite features. FactCite can be integrated with your learning management systems, Canvas, Schoology, ClassLink, Brightspace. We haven't found a learning management system that we can't successfully integrate with yet. We have citations on every page, and we also include integration with Noodle Tools if your school has a Noodle Tools subscription. The audio read-along is included in every database. It's customizable with translation, which I just showed you. And our interface is consistent. We worked with a reading consultant to design the screens to optimize readability and reading comprehension. Sometimes our databases don't make the best first impression because our screen designs are so simple, but they're simple by design to help students be successful with their reading comprehension. At the moment, we're offering some back-to-school resources. So if you're interested in requesting any of our back-to-school icebreaker activities, just email owls@factsite.com to request the lesson plans and templates for 3 icebreaker activities, which will be fun for the start of the new school year. And of course, you can request a FactCite demonstration anytime. You can email me directly, and we can establish, if you'd like, a demonstration on our features about colonial America or Wisconsin history or notable women scientists. Any topic that you might like to choose, we'd be happy to develop a demonstration for you that you can share with your faculty. We're also available anytime to give you a general overview of FactCite. And of course, you can contact your friendly people at WiLS to request a FactCite subscription quote. Individual subscriptions are available, but of course you can bundle more than one FactCite subscription and save money. We also offer district subscriptions. So if you contact WiLS and say you'd like to subscribe to the K-8 bundle for all this elementary and middle schools in your district, we're happy to work with WiLS to prepare a quote for you for that type of subscription. Summary, I'd like to say that FactCite has subscriptions for students has databases for subscriptions at all reading levels. It works well on any device, including a smartphone. FactCite's a low bandwidth requiring resource, so it works great if students are using it from home and competing for the family Wi-Fi with others. Doesn't require a lot of bandwidth. It can be customized for individual students depending on their needs. I didn't go into all the details, but the audio read-along has lots of features that can enhance the text, do page masking. I'm happy to demonstrate that for you. And we're also happy to take content requests. You send an email. FactCite frequently develops content in response to subscriber requests. So send over your wish list and we'll be happy to develop some new content for your student research. We're dedicated to helping every student succeed, and we look forward to working with all of you in the new school year. We're always here to help, and don't forget to request a trial or request a price quote from WiLS. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them now.
Thank you so much, Susan. As always, really a great overview of all the great stuff available from FactCite. I'll echo what Susan said. If you have any questions here in the live session, please feel free to drop them into the chat or the Q&A part of Zoom. Otherwise, you can always reach out to us here at WiLS at the coop@wils.org email address for questions that we can relay to Susan, or as she said, to get price quotes or talk about bundling or anything else that FactCite can do to support your students there at your district. Susan, thank you so much for joining us today for Taco Tuesday, and we're looking forward to continuing our long association between WiLS and FactCite.
Well, we're very grateful for the opportunity, and we're just going to be waiting for the DoorDash guy to deliver the real tacos, Jeff.
Oh, shoot. I knew I forgot something.
Thanks so much for giving us the opportunity today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. We're always happy to do it. We'll talk to you again soon. All right. So I'm going to just sort of switch us back to our kind of starting page to give us a jumping off point for our next presenter, who I can see is already ready to go. So joining us now from another longtime WiLS vendor partner is Kyle, who's coming to us to talk about PowerNotes. Kyle, are you ready to take the reins?
Yes, Jeff, I am ready to go when you are.
All right, I'm stopping my screen share so you can take over.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Let me grab that screen. And we are going to jump right into it. We have an action-packed 10-15 minutes planned for you today. As Jeff mentioned, we've worked with WiLS for a number of years. And for those in the audience, I'm sure you've witnessed PowerNotes evolve in those short, 3, 4, 5 years. Specifically today, we are going to touch on our latest AI integrated teaching and learning tools. For those of you unfamiliar with PowerNotes, I can start with a few slides to help lay the groundwork for what I plan to show you for today's live demo. Our core tools are designed to make the digital reading, research, and writing process less frustrating and more enjoyable for students. You'll get a glimpse of this here in a few seconds. We also have various library integrations. Two specifically are fairly valuable and our schools point to as useful for students. A proxy integration, so we will automatically save links as students are using sources across all library databases, things on the open web, PDFs, and so on, so students can never forget where something came from. Our tools will work on top of everything. So if you are coming from a college or university where you may proxy things, or if you have a proxy server with your high school databases as well, PowerNotes will automatically grab the correct link so students can never forget where something came from. We also have a Google search tool. We will automatically run a search in your school's library when students search on Google. It will look something like this. So say I'm researching climate change. Part of PowerNotes is a browser extension. So we can run a search as you search in Google and display your library results alongside of the Google results. Of course, yours would say your school's name. We pull these through an API with your school's discovery tool. Now we've also added teaching and AI tools. That's where we plan to spend the next 7-8 minutes or so touching on. In short, our goal is to help provide an ethical and safe way for instructors to incorporate AI for specific assignments. It seems like over the past year, AI, ChatGPT, and everything has been sort of the Wild West in how to incorporate it. Should you add it? How do you know what is generated by AI or what the student wrote? PowerNotes offers solutions for all of that. So let's jump right in. So one of the teaching features that I'll mention is an LMS integration. If you don't have an LMS that we support, we're adding new ones each month, but we also have a standalone classrooms tool. So you can add these features without integrating with your LMS at your school. In this example, I have 2 accounts pulled up. I have my example student, Layla. In that example class, we'll take a look at the instructor view towards the last few minutes of today's session. So in Layla's PowerNotes account, this is the PowerNotes dashboard. If you're familiar with PowerNotes, you might recognize this screen. This is where you can see all of the projects that you're working on. So I'll jump into this assignment that was shared with Layla. This happens to be an assignment where different AI features were enabled by the instructor. So they have access now to 3 different AI tools, 2 prompting tools and 1 tool for discovery. So here, the instructor has set up different topics that they want the student to look for. In this example, it's a research project on climate change, and they provided 2 sources to begin with. So the student can easily click in here, go right to that source, and the PowerNotes browser extension can be there with them. They can easily toggle this on and off if they don't want it enabled, but the extension will show the sidebar where you can easily grab information, organize it into your outline, annotate, and keep reading. So the core PowerNotes interface is designed for digital reading and research management and help you organize that research so you can easily begin writing. They've also added another bookmark. Let's click in this one, pull it up, and this will bring me to the other source that my teacher has provided with me. And once again, as you find something you want to save, you just highlight the text. I'm going to add a few highlights in here for the sake of one of the AI prompting features. So let me grab a few things, make a few highlights. Oh, PDFs are always difficult to work with, but we also have our own OCR tool built in as well. So part of our AI features is a tool called Discovery. So as you are pulling up sources and reading them online, one of the things that you can enable for students, this is completely up to the teacher for that assignment, is what's called Discovery. So you click a button here. Might have some internet issues here. Here, I'll jump into this source here. And we will do 3 things for this article. We'll provide a summary, we'll provide research topics, and a Q&A. So the summary is pretty straightforward. The research topics, you can jump into those and click into them, and we'll run a search in Google or in your school's library and display the search results here to help students stay on track with what they're researching. And we offer a Q&A. The Q&A is valuable because while it's AI powered, we will close the AI's knowledge to only the information on this page. So instead of using the standard language model where it goes off into the internet and gets the information from who knows where, you can close the AI's knowledge base to only what's on this page. You can ask questions and find information quickly. Once again, you can turn this off if you're a teacher and you do not want your students using this level of AI. Let's go back to that project outline. So as you can see, I've pulled in information. You can also add your own writing at any point in time. PowerNotes is not only just a research manager. You can pull in quotes and passages, but you can also add your own writing. Now here we have an integration with OpenAI. So there are some benefits here. First things first, privacy. With our API, OpenAI cannot use things like student information, and there are other privacy benefits as well. So with our open prompting, one of our prompting tools, you can ask generic questions like you would with OpenAI. So students that are stuck on topics are not sure what to do. And once again, all of these features are enabled at the teacher level, so they'll have to come in and turn them on. They can ask questions to the AI, and just like using it in OpenAI or in other AI tools, it will generate a response. But within PowerNotes, everything is logged and transparent to the teacher. So the students can take this information, they can ask other questions, all of it, the instructors can come in, see, they can talk about it, and it's designed to be a way to teach students how language models work and how AI content or text is generated. You can take this information and promote it into your outline. Everything will be tagged and cited as AI generated. You can edit the information here. Teachers can always see the original AI output, but the key is it differentiates between your own research and what the student wrote. You can also do what's called a closed prompt. So you can start a new session and you can say, from this research, tell me more about, and then you can ask a question. But instead of it going out into, once again, its entire language model, you can close the AI's universe to the research you've already done. So you can ask it a question, select the research that you've done, and ask it to run a prompt off that. We've seen high school students or high school teachers utilize this for having students summarize their work or start off by adding their own writing and then using the AI to summarize, reword, but they've turned off the open prompting. So they can still use the AI for its language capability, just not its knowledge capability. All of these features are customizable at the teacher level. So this assignment was sent out by the teacher. So let's jump quickly to what the teacher saw when they were setting this up. So this is a completely different PowerNotes account. All teachers would have access to this. Here, I can see all of my projects I'm working on. And I'm going to jump into this assignment. This is the one that we sent out to the students. You give it a name. You select a template that you've created to send out to them. We have different configurations that you can turn on. You can disable our automatic citation feature if you don't want them using that. And we have the PowerNotes Insight settings and an AI. Insight is our approach to academic integrity. It will correlate the student's work in two phases. The first phase towards the expectations that you've set for the assignment. In the second phase, it will correlate their work to the draft that they're submitting. So for example, in this assignment, this is quite the research project. The students have to do a lot, but they have to use have target number of sources 10, target number of total annotations 200, target time spent about 10 hours. You can customize this however you'd like. You can turn these off independently. You can have them work on it for 1 hour. The key is we will provide visibility into the student's progress towards those expectations. The second version, the file upload, when they submit a Word document that was generated from PowerNotes, we will correlate that Word document they're submitting to their work history one last time to update the Insight score. Here, this is how you can turn on and off the AI tools. So let's jump back into the assignment and show you what the teachers can see at a glance. So here are all of my students. On the left-hand side, you have a link into their project. So my student here, Layla, that's the example I was in. So I can jump into Layla's project. I can see exactly what they did. All of this we just did a few seconds ago. I can give feedback. But more importantly, I can see in real time how my students are progressing towards the expectations that I've set as the teacher. When it comes to finding sources, you cannot fake those in PowerNotes. You actually have to be there, highlighting the text on the page, and there are a few other academic integrity tools built in. So once again, PowerNotes offers those digital research tools with or without the AI. You can use them independently. You can incorporate them in the classroom. Seeing here, this is the teacher's view. So if you have the classroom tools enabled, all teachers would have access to this. Or you can just turn on PowerNotes for your students to make them more productive while they're reading, gathering information, tracking sources, and so on. That is all we had planned for today. If you do have questions, comments, you can reach out to me at kyle@powernotes.com, or of course, contact the great team over at WiLS and they will point you in the right direction. Jump back here, and that's where we will wrap up today. Thank you so much, Jeff and WiLS. We appreciate your time. And after the last comments, I am also getting excited about potentially my own Taco Tuesday this evening.
Kyle, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm always impressed and like amazed at the things you're able to show us that the tools there that you have, the platform is able to do in support of student research and the teachers. So thank you so much for bringing that to us today. I'll echo what Kyle said. Please do reach out to us here at WiLS. Or reach out to Kyle directly for more information. We're happy to get you quotes and I think trial access or kind of customized discussions and of how these resources can help you in your own institutions. So thanks again, Kyle, and thanks to everyone for coming today. I guess I will share my screen one more time to bring us to our closing. So thank you again to all of our presenters for joining us to share about the resources that their companies can provide for WiLS members. Thanks to those of you watching live, those of you who joined us via the recording. And I will remind you that we're doing Taco Tuesday every other week now. So we will have a brand new slate of vendor partners eager to show you what they can do for you, joining us next week on August 8th. This time we'll be back at our 11:30 a.m. start time. So it's 11:30 a.m. Central. Please take a look at the WiLS website to register for that session and really all of our sessions, which are ready to be registered all the way through December. So thanks again for everyone, to our presenters, to our viewers, and for those of you who are WiLS members, thank you so much for being members. Have a great afternoon, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.